no child will be left behind, and no Fijian parent will ever go to bed again worrying about how they will meet their children's school fees or any other fees. For the first time in our nation's history, my government will provide truly free primary and secondary school education for all Fijian children.
This week, Nation's Business looks at how the Ministry of Education is creating opportunities for all Fijian children. The importance of education cannot be stated enough. It is a self-enlightening process and is crucial to the overall development of an individual and the society at large. Because of this, the Ministry for Education received nearly 19% of the total budget announced in the 2014 budget. With a budget of $451.5 million, the Ministry for Education has its work cut out and has already put in place plans on how it will go about achieving this.
The Ministry has gone into doing our work plan, and we have started our work. The first thing we have done is we have carried out a training of school management throughout the country on usage of funds and grants, ensuring that educational materials are in the school. There is accountability to all the grants that are provided, and that the schools meet the requirements of running a school.
With this in mind, the Ministry is also ensuring that all schools are well equipped with adequate staffing.
We have to ensure that all our school staffing is done. Teachers are posted so that to all the schools, that when the school starts in January, we also have to ensure that the schools have the necessary resources so that teaching and learning starts on the first day when the school opens.
As part of its plans, the Ministry conducted several training programs for schools, managements on how to better manage these funds.
First was training on school management. So we formed several groups of people who went around the country and carried out training, which included looking at the usage of grants, how to keep records, auditing of accounts, how the money is to be used, where, how can the management play a good role in making sure that the money is used wisely. So all those details were done.
With plans now in place, the Ministry will be carefully monitoring the progress to ensure accountability and transparency.
We have got the monitoring plan, which asset monitoring unit will do, look at some of the building grants and so forth, how it is done. We also have other teams that will look at the school plans and the utilization of funds. This will largely depend on our officers in the districts who will be doing the school visits.
Now that the funds have been distributed, the Ministry is urging all school management to keep proper records and to ensure that funds are used for the right purpose.
We want them to keep proper accounts and the money is used at the right place. So we have said so much more of money has to go in the purchase of furniture. So we would like them to buy furniture so the school is fully staffed. So much money is for IT. So those are the things we are trying to clarify. Otherwise, some committees may just spend the money on paying all the debt they have, and the school may not have teaching and learning material. So that is our major thing, that they must have all the teaching and learning material in the school. That was our emphasis. And number two, we were really trying to hammer hard with them that proper account keeping. And three, auditing the accounts. So those were the things that we really wanted, and we have clarified all the queries that they raised with us.
With education now free for the first time for primary and secondary schools, parents will be able to utilize their income on family projects.
Now, parents don't have to pay much, except for uniform and food and some of these basic things. Otherwise, they don't have to pay anything like the school levy and fee and all this. So that removes a great burden from the shoulders of the parents.
The Ministry is warning all school management to refrain from charging parents any fees.
We have asked parents that they should not be paying any fee because it is free. And I would also like to advise communities that this is a decision that government has made, so don't put unnecessary pressure on people. Let us help everyone and cooperate and make things happen.
Parents who still have outstanding debts with various schools have been urged to fulfill their obligation and clear their debts, as this won't be the responsibility of the ministry.
If there are parents that owe any type of levy to schools, it is the responsibility of the parents to pay that. And the parents can make an arrangement with the school of making some monthly payments or weekly payments and so on. But the responsibility is for the parents to make sure that they clear the debt. But at the same time, children will not be sent back home. Children should not be deprived of education. They should be brought to the school and education should be provided to them.
For the principal of Jainarayan College, this new initiative, he believes, is something long overdue and is excited about the new idea.
I'm overwhelmingly pleased. It's very exciting, not only for me personally and not for the school, but as the nation as a whole. I mean, if you look back to the history of this country, this is the first time such initiative has taken place, and I should put my hats off and thank the government of the day in taking such initiatives, particularly to the students level. You know, fees is such an important aspect of running of a school, and if that is looked after by our government, I mean, that's a blessing for the kids themselves.
Like all schools around the country, the collection of school fees has always been the biggest challenge. But with this new initiative, Mr. Raj believes that the burden will now be lifted off not only from the parents, but more importantly, the child.
I am obligated to the management, so they would ask a report for me how many fees is collected per term, and I have to give a feedback. And if there is a pending amount, then I'm being sort of pressured from the management to recover that amount. So I would request my teachers for the same to collect money through the students from their parents. And this activity is a very sensitive issue. You know, it's a very sensitive activity because children are children. I mean, they don't actually earn this money directly. They're getting this money from their parents. And sometimes with challenging backgrounds of family members, collection of or paying of full fees is a big challenge. And now that we'll be doing this exercise to the children, we have sort of freed them from that mindset that you'll be continuously reminded to pay your fees. But now with that gone away, they can have that focus entirely on their books and their education. Of course, that will academically help them and facilitate even future achievements in the academic area.
The head teacher for Ndraimba Primary School is grateful to the Bainimarama government for taking on this bold step in ensuring that every child in the country has an equal opportunity to education.
We are very grateful for the government of the day for that initiative. Certainly that our school is going to benefit from it in a big way. Because most of our parents here at school come from a very, they are struggling to make ends meet daily. So that initiative will certainly boost money coming into the school to help the school in the developments and also help our poor parents with the children's school fees.
Now, with the new initiative in place, schools can start implementing projects that were otherwise kept on the back burner because of the difficulties in trying to raise funds.
This year we'll focus on classes 7 and 8, buying more the normal computers for classes 7 and 8 students.
Being a school teacher for more than 3 decades and just over 10 years as principal, Waisake Ravatu of Suva Grammar never dreamt of the announcement of free education.
I have my own ideas about about these things, whether it's really going to meet the people that this is meant for. So last year I was talking to my students and the staff here, especially between the two major races, what we make use of these things, given the kind of mentality that we have, laid back, we don't seem to, there needs to be a related change in the mindset, especially of the Itoke. Because that money can be there, but if we don't change the mindset to make use of it, then yes, that's my concern.
Now that the new initiative is up and running, most principals and head teachers around the country are thankful to the Bainimarama government for this long overdue process.
I would thank the government definitely for the initiatives for the students and also for the staff, all the civil servants. As you may be aware with the pay rise, I think it's about time. Teachers play a very important role in the lives of children, and with such initiatives and reward, I think it will inspire teachers nationally to perform their duties at another better level in the future.
I'd like to say thank you so much for for helping the schools throughout Fiji, and more especially with our parents, the struggling parents of Fiji. Many of them are not working, and the initiative that they have given will certainly help enable their students to get to school.
The announcement of free education for primary and secondary school students is a relief to parents who have had to struggle to ensure they had enough for the new school term. For this 45-year-old mother of three, after sacrificing a lot over the years, this new initiative by government has come as a relief to her family.
It's a relief to me because I know my daughters can go back to school, and I can, with the budget I am putting right on for their education, we will be able to meet everything.
Now with free education, Salnieta can now utilize money budgeted for school fees on other important things such as family projects.
Like previous years, as I said, we never celebrate Christmas. We just go to church, come back, just have a small, not lobo and all like most families enjoy, because our priorities were our children. What was important to us, rather than spending money on food and all, we'd rather invest that money on our children's education the following year. But last year, it was an enjoyable thing. We spent our Christmas from the money we used to spend on school fees and other things. We spent it with our extended families. My in-laws came. We have a very beautiful Christmas.
With three siblings still in school, Dorothy and her husband will now save just under $800 a year through this new initiative by government, and feel that this program of free education will encourage parents to send their children to school.
In the past, they used to have problems with fees. There were a lot of dropouts, and this should be a good. It also should encourage parents to educate their children to the fullest and to take advantage of this initiative by the government.
For Dorothy, this program can have a positive impact on the future of our younger generation and the nation as a whole.
For me personally, this is the best move that the government has made, because investing in our children, they are the future of our country.
Lysa Tamani is one of the lucky parents. She won't have to worry about school fees as her eldest will start grade 1 this year.
Having 4 kids with free education, there's a financial burden is actually easier, and I guess you can actually concentrate on other stuff for kids. like the bags, stationery, everything else. Yeah, so yeah, it's a good thing what the government has done so far for free education.
Now that education is free, this young lass is calling on her fellow schoolmates around the country to take advantage of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Just help your parents and work hard in school so you can achieve more better things in school.
Everyone seemed to be singing the same tune, and it's a good one, as Nation's Business found out just what people thought about government's new initiative on free education.
For the government to do that, because it helps mostly the poor people who can't afford to send their children to school, and now that gives them a good opportunity to not further their education.
I'm happy about the free education. I think it benefits the parents and the whole Fiji as a community, so it's a good deal.
I think it's very good. What government is doing, it's very good. You know, the poor people, they can educate their children very well, you know. What the people who can't send their children to school now, they are free, they can send. And they can make their children something, you know, well educated.
I think it's a tremendous effort by the government to, enable us to have free education.
Yeah, children can go to school, no parents don't have to struggle to pay the fees like that.
This free education is a good initiative by government, but it also shouldn't take away the fact that for parents to start looking also providing their children with quality education. So the money that they're saving, it doesn't mean that it has to go to something else. Those money should provide children for extra classes and any other necessity that they will need in order to give their children the quality education that they need.
It is among the boldest investments we have ever made as a nation. An investment in our young people, their future and our future. Government has now committed to providing truly free primary and secondary school education for all Fijian children. The onus is now on the school heads and management to make wise use of these funds.